Are you looking for an athletic scholarship? You're in the right place. This is the Recruit Me Athletic Scholarship Podcast, the longest-running podcast on recruiting and athletic scholarships. We're here to help your family navigate the recruiting road all the way to an athletic scholarship. He's a recruiting expert and a dad of a D1 athlete and a high school athlete pursuing a scholarship. With a wealth of experience to share, here's Recruit Me CEO Brent Hanks.
Episode 222, The First Steps to an Athletic Scholarship and More. It's brought to you by Cody Hanks, your friendly neighborhood realtor in Southwest Missouri. Contact Cody Hanks at 417-860-9160 or by email codyhanks@swmrealty.com. Stay tuned at the end of this episode for myth number 2 from the Recruit Me 3.0 Athletic Scholarship System. Since I purchased Recruit Me from the founder, John Fugler, many of you listeners have signed up and downloaded the free Recruit Me Recruiting Power Pack. This is a great free resource that John put together to help families get going in the recruiting process. Did I mention that it's free? There are 3 super helpful items that are included in the free Recruiting Power Pack. The first is a PDF that covers the first steps to an athletic scholarship. The second item is an audio file that tells you when and how to use video. The third item is a template the student-athlete fills out that is a player profile or resume template. These are the 3 items that are included in the free, yes free, Recruiting Power Pack. Where do you find this free Recruiting Power Pack that gets you off to a great start and answers many early questions of recruiting? Just go to recruit-me.com website. And the very first page of the website lists the description of the 3 free helpful recruiting items. Just click on the Send Me the Recruiting Power Pack button and then verify by clicking on the Get It Now Free button. Then put in your first name and your email address. An email will be sent to you that includes the 3 free Recruiting Power Pack items. So let's take a peek into the first free Recruiting Power Pack item. The First Steps to an Athletic Scholarship. You will get introduced to John Fugler, the founder of Recruit Me and the author of this item. John tells you a little bit about his recruiting education inspiration and tells about some of the other free and inexpensive Recruit Me resources that are available. A quote by John, quote, "I entered a world I knew nothing about and learned a lot along the way. In the end, both of my sons were able to receive fully paid educations at their school of choice, but it did not happen the way I expected." Unquote. John, much like me, was inspired to help student-athletes and their families answer questions that we tackled on our own. There were ways to get help, but we didn't know about them or search them out. So John created Recruit Me, and I found Recruit Me after Parker's recruitment was done. So let's do this recruiting thing without spending thousands of dollars on outside help. In the free Recruiting Power Pack, The First Steps to an Athletic Scholarship downloads 9 pages that answer the question most everyone has. Where do I start? Step 1 of the first steps of the athletic scholarship is to write an introductory email that will get the coach's attention and a response. Parents need to help supervise because the high school student-athlete has a full plate with academics, their sport or sports, workouts and training, and oh yeah, a social life. Parents can be the proofreaders and the GPS map voice for the journey. Recruitment is a big job, and very few high schoolers have the discipline and the experience to handle all the organization and communication. This is a great time for parents to help teach what it will be like to apply for a future job. Recruitment equals getting a job. Now, coaches want to hear from the student-athlete, so emails, texts, and calls must come from them, but parents need to look over their shoulder all the way. Do you hear that, high schooler? The introductory email is the way the student-athlete virtually shakes the coach's hand and makes a good first impression. When you write your email, keep in mind that you want to accomplish 3 goals. 1 is a positive first impression. The second is you want their coach to read the entire email. And the third is you want the coach to respond to you and start the recruiting process. You want to brag about yourself by giving the coach your accomplishments, your stats, and your love of the game. Your introductory email should be no more than 5 paragraphs. It should be personalized to the coach by name, be informal, have 100% correct spelling and grammar, express enthusiasm, and include a few of your best stats. Your email should be sent to coaches along with your one-page player profile or resume. Listen to episode 200 for more free information about the introductory email. Step number 2 is to create a player profile or resume that will get you noticed. This is a key item that will make you stand out among the hundreds of emails that coaches get each season. The player profile is filled with positive information, and all of it is factual. It is sent with your very important introductory email and nothing else. The player profile sets things into motion, and if written correctly, it will get the student-athlete noticed. No one else is sending the player profile. That is why you will stand out. The player profile is probably the most pivotal piece that you can send to a coach. The one-page player profile has 10 sections. Many families want to know when they should start sending information out to coaches. When the player profile can be filled out almost completely with information a coach would want to have to evaluate the player, then you are probably ready. Section 1 is the recruit's name. Section 2 is a short headline that is unique and impressive. An example would be 87-mile-an-hour fastball and 3.6 GPA. Section 3 has your sport and position or positions. Section 4 is information about the player and the family, like their address, phone numbers, email addresses, the player's year of birth, the player's year of graduation, some family information, the student's GPA and test scores if available. Section 5 has the high school's information and the coach's information. Section 6 has physical information like height, weight, speed, strength, dominant hand or foot, and other sports you compete in. Section 7 has a narrative summary of the player's general strengths and his team and league info. Section 8 shows the college coaches your stats and achievements. Section 9 shows off your potential, and Section 10 has a photo, preferably not in uniform. See what a player profile looks like in the free Recruiting Power Pack. Step 3 is to complete player questionnaires effectively. There are generally 2 reasons a coach will write or call a player. One is that he or she has heard about the player from someone else or has seen the player compete. And 2 is that the player has taken the initiative to write the coach. The coach will usually ask the player to fill out the team's online recruiting questionnaire. The recruiting questionnaires are detailed and time-consuming. The recruit can spend 30 to 45 minutes filling out each one. If the player gets 10 to 15 coaches to respond to fill out the questionnaire, then this can be hard to keep up with because it takes up so much time. RecruitMe suggests you create a universal master recruiting questionnaire that can be emailed to the coach with all the information they want. You can take time to create your own questionnaire outline by looking at a few different teams' recruiting questionnaires, or you can just get a template from the RecruitMe 3.0 Athletic Scholarship System resource. Go to the recruit-me.com website for more RecruitMe 3.0 information and see how to purchase it. If a coach asks you to fill out their questionnaire after you've sent your personal one, then take the time to do it. After Parker sent his intro email to Northwestern telling them that he was going to play in a showcase near them, they did ask him to fill out their recruiting questionnaire. We didn't have our universal recruiting questionnaire made up because we didn't know about RecruitMe at the time. I wish we had. Step 4. Keep coaches interested. The scholarship hunt is a long process, but it goes quickly. Keep all your college options open. Do not eliminate schools too early in the process. Doors open and close and open again. So you have to keep communicating with all the schools and coaches on your list. Go to episodes 198 and 199 to learn about making your school list. Send updates on your game schedule, your accomplishments throughout the year. Update them both athletically and academically. The student-athlete needs to ask their high school coach or coaches and their club coaches to write an email on their behalf. Getting an opposing coach to write a short, complimentary email is a big bonus. Make sure to respond to coaches when they call, text, or email. Never burn a bridge by not responding. You may not be interested in that school at the time, but circumstances can change, and you may need that school or that contact. Send an update to all your schools after games, maybe a group of games if you play a lot during that week. We sent an email to all our school list before Parker pitched that week, and we sent an email with the stats, videos, and how the game went after the game. We personalize to each school by commenting on that college's games that week. The email would tell the coach good luck against that week's specific opponent. Send an email after the season to keep all the schools in the loop. Here are a few reasons to send an update to a coach: an ACT or SAT score, GPA updates, academic or athletic honors, or your schedule for the upcoming season. These are great for short emails to keep the coaches informed and shows them that you are interested. Another must is visiting college campuses, either by official visits or unofficial visits. Both are great to learn about the schools and show the coaches that you are interested in their school and program. And with all of this action and communications with coaches and schools, you must keep track of all this information. Do not rely on your memory or scattered notes. Again, the RecruitMe 3.0 system has guides and templates to help with tracking your communications. Also, the Athletic Scholarship 24-month recruiting planner and journal is available by contacting me at brent@recruit-me.com or on the recruit-me.com website, and you can click and buy it through Amazon. See, I told you the free Recruiting Power Pack was worth the price. Oh yeah, the Recruiting Power Pack is free. There is even more valuable information in the first steps to an athletic scholarship download. So sign up and get it today, along with the audio download on how and when to use video and the player profile template too. If you have already received the Recruiting Power Pack, then I hope this was a good review and maybe there is something you can go back and pick up to boost your recruitment. Once you get the email with the Recruiting Power Pack, it is yours to keep and review as you need. One more time, go to recruit-me.com and sign up today for the free Recruiting Power Pack. Now, the 8 myths about athletic scholarships. They can be found on the RecruitMe 3.0 athletic scholarship system. Here is myth number 2. If I'm talented, the coach can get me into school despite poor grades. The truth. It is just the opposite. Poor grades shut off a coach's interest more quickly than anything else. Even before coaches evaluate your athletic ability, they can look at your GPA and SAT scores and make a decision about moving forward at that point. John writes, I remember when we were in the stands watching our sons compete in a showcase. We were watching over the coach's shoulder as he went through the player profiles in the program and crossed off athlete after athlete. What we learned later that he was making his first evaluation based on GPA and test scores, even before watching any athletes compete. Schools have minimum academic requirements and coaches usually cannot get around those minimums. It is true that they can submit a list of prospective students who are borderline to the admission office, but you need to be very close to qualifying. All things equal, a coach would rather pursue the student athlete with comparable abilities but with higher grades and SAT scores. It's a better investment of their time, and it's less risky because he or she does not want to recruit athletes that may drop out in a year or two. Join me next week to hear myth number 3 of athletic scholarships, brought to you by the RecruitMe 3.0 step-by-step system to an athletic scholarship. Next week's episode will feature a parent of a D1 soccer player. His daughter plays for Mizzou in the SEC Conference. We will get into how soccer recruiting goes and the family's journey through the recruiting process. He is also a parent of a current high school student athlete that is a very good football, basketball, and soccer player. As a junior in high school, decisions are starting to be made. It doesn't stop there, though. He has a 6th grader that is up and coming, too. I'll see you next week for another 15 minutes of recruiting education.